Happy Monday, friends! Welcome back to my channel and another installment of Magic Mail Monday. So for today's video, I have 4 packages to open up with you, which will be a mixture of Instagram purchases and Facebook trades, authentic and fantasy pins. So let's dive into it. Okay, I think I want to start with the fantasy pins just to get it out of the way and we can move on to all the authentic pins. This package comes from a seller on Instagram, Fefi Sale. I will link her Instagram handle down below, but she resells, well, she sells her own fantasy pins, but she resells a lot of other fantasy pins that are slightly flawed, and every now and then she'll have a sale on those pins. And so I picked up a few fantasy pins when she had her last sale. So as I've shared, I share this every time I open up fantasy pin mail. I only purchase fantasy pins that I know are going to stay in my collection, just because I know fantasy pins are not like everyone's cup of tea, and that's totally fine. For me, I want to, one, support these small business pin makers, but also grow my collection. Sometimes there's art that I feel like I have not really seen in the Disney authentic pin arena. But anyways, that's just my opinion. So let me go ahead and show you. I picked up 3 fantasy pins from her. This first pin I've seen around with many other sellers, and I have been going back and forth as to whether or not I wanted to pick it up, but since Fefi had this one on sale, I decided to pick it up and add it to my Aladdin and Jasmine collection. Here's a quick look at the back of the pin. It says Love Story, so I guess that's the name of the series for these pins. And it says at the bottom, limited edition. It doesn't say how many. Here is the backer card of the pin. So it is Meraki fantasy pins, and looks like they have an Etsy shop and an Instagram handle. This next pin is also an Aladdin and Jasmine pin. Now, again, not all fantasy pins are perfect. I feel like the skin tones are a little off on this one, but again, Fefi was selling them slightly flawed, and that might have been the flaw on this pin, because otherwise I think their outfits and just the way that they're looking at each other so lovingly is just perfect. 2 pin posts on the back, no engraving, so I'm not going to give you a close-up. Here is the 3rd pin I picked up from Fefi, and it is this beautiful Rapunzel pin looking back at her tower with some lanterns in the air. I love it. I really love Rapunzel. She is probably one of my favorite newer princesses. But also I really love Tiana. I really love Moana. A lot of the newer Disney movies, I dig it. So anyways, I love the size of this too. Like, I thought it was gonna be a little bit bigger, but I'm not at all disappointed by the size of it. I don't see a lot of pins like this size. This next package is another purchase I made on Instagram for a few fantasy pins. She is not the maker, however, her Instagram is hotmess_princess, and she was selling a few of the fantasy pins in her collection, and I wanted to pick this up. I don't actually know who the pin maker is. I believe they are no longer a trusted seller. So here is the pin that I picked up. It is beautiful Jasmine with her eyes closed and her cute little poses, and we have some flowers around, some flowers around the edges. I have a few others of this pin series, and I know it's in the same pin series because the flower design is the same, as well as the background with the lines and the dots. I saw the Jasmine one and I was like, great, I collect Jasmine, and I think it would be perfect to go alongside the other ones of the series. I will say I have another pin in that same series that is on its way to me, and from buying that pin that's on its way, I found out who the pin maker was, and they no longer exist. So let's move on. This next package, you already know who this is from if you are an avid pin collector and purchaser on Instagram. It is from our friends at Collect Random. Let me show you what I picked up. Okay, so as usual, we have your standard Collect Random sticker, red edition, Collect Random business card with all their handles, and their latest business card with their TikTok. And finally, here is the pin that I picked up from them. It is the Alpha Dogs from Up. Well, no, the one dog is Alpha, Beta, and Gamma. This is part of the Up puzzle piece set that I'm trying to complete. So picking this one up leaves me with only, I think, 3 more pieces. I'll post a picture of the puzzle and the pieces that I need, so holla at your girl. Okay, fourth and final package for today comes from Pin Barbie on Instagram. Let's open this up. Okay, one of the reasons I love purchasing from Pin Barbie and her sister Pin Witch, I'll link both their Instagram handles below, but one of the reasons I love purchasing pins from them is because they always include treats in them. And look at this, it's probably the best treat haul I've ever gotten. Three pink starbursts. These are my favorites. Here is a postcard of Pin Witch and Pin Barbie, and they send this in all of the pin mail they send out. And on the back side, it has their little thank you. It says, enjoy your new pretties, XOXO. And then when we post on Instagram, we hashtag pinmailpretties. She also included this little stationery zap. So it's a small stack of some Stitch and Scrump note pages. You know what? I was running low on like notes to add in pin mail. So this is definitely gonna go to good use. So thank you for that. So I purchased 2 pins from them, and I'm gonna give you a close-up of the pins now. All right, here is the first pin that I purchased from them. It is Mickey and Minnie dressed in some character costumes in front of Disneyland Resort Paris. I'm actually kind of laughing at this picture now laughing at this pin now, because now that I'm looking at it, it kind of looks like Minnie's a little angry, but I know she's happy. Oh, okay, I see it. Now that I'm looking at it, it's kind of like, thanks for taking me to Paris. So there you go. So here is the next pin that I purchased from Pin Barbie, and it is of Violet from The Incredibles with her 2-scoop ice cream cone. Quick look at the back side of Violet. You can see it has the ice cream cone stamping for DSSH, limited edition of 300, Disney Pixar copyright, and Disney Studio Store Hollywood. So I don't collect Incredibles specifically, but I do collect Pixar, and I think one of the long-term pin collections I'm gonna try for is to just collect Pixar PTDs. I know, it's ambitious, but I feel like if I just take my time and I find one every now and then at a good price, it will be kind of like a fun thing to complete. All right, friends, that concludes our Magic Mail Monday for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. If you had a good time opening up this pin mail, go ahead and give this video a like and comment down below if you had a favorite pin in today's haul. And last but not least, if you're looking for more Disney pin content, go ahead and hit subscribe and the bell icon so you will be notified every time I post. I hope to see you then. Until next time, have a fantastic day.